Hello everybody, I'm iTrueface, and today I'll be going over how to use Zuelong in Loomian Legacy. Now, I put up a poll on Twitter asking you all how I should approach this. I asked between what Lumipedia order, most popular Loomians in PvP, and what just vote for specific ones each time. And you all voted for the most popular one, so Zuelong. I'll probably be doing Himber next, but I'm also going to be leaving a vote for who I should do after that in the description or comment, or I'll pin a comment and it'll be on my Twitter, also linked in the description, so y'all can vote on that. Anyway, I don't know exactly how I want to format this whole little but how to use series, so bear with me and we'll improve as we go. Also, mic setup behind the scenes. Oh, that crap is a little bit different since people mentioned a change in my mic quality since the Brick Bronze days, so trying to play around, trying to get a better, quality out of the sound, so let me know how it sounds. Anyway, so I think I'll just be going over what set or sets to use for them and how to apply them effectively, and then, explaining it in the battle while, playing it to the battle that's behind you. It's not live, by the way, it's just, playing. Just, showcasing at least somewhat what I'm saying in the video. So, basically Zuelong with 119 speed and 109 special attack makes it a monstrous threat already. It's the fastest thing in the game at the time of the recording, and it has the second highest ranged attack in the game, so that's fun. Pair it with an electric and ancient typing, which is on paper sounds like one of the best in the game, and is just a darn threat, and then it gets a parting shot clone too, so there you go. The fastest thing in the game also gets parting shot. Oof, that that just already sounds like a lot to chew and everything. So basically, well, one, it is, I'm gonna say that there's no real true counter besides Himber, but he gets worn down pretty darn easily. Anyway, Zuelong, there's really only one set you want to run on it right now. 200 speed, 200 range attack, 100 HP. Nimble nature, so that you are not slower than Duskets, even though it doesn't really matter too much if you're slower than them, but you also don't want to be potentially outsped by a nimble Zuelong yourself. You at least want to try and speed tie them. So, yeah, I prefer Ancient Essence instead of anything else. Power Cuffs is alright, but Zuelong's attacks eat up a decent amount of energy, and Ancient Roar is affected by the energy gain cost, so costing 70 energy means it's going to cost a whole heck of a lot more when adding in the cuffs. So I generally go with Ancient Essence because it seems like it's more spammable. You're only really going to be using Thunderstrike on stuff that's weak to it, like Seer Knight and Luminami and Avitros. And then for neutral damage, Ancient Essence boosted Elemental Burst has slightly more power than Thunderstrike, and it costs less energy to use, so there you go. So basically, Zuelong likes to do one of two things, or you can do one of two things, or you can do both in the same battle, but he can either not really show up much at the early game, and then just come in once everything is whittled down to their various percents that Zuelong can OHKO them at, and just clean up the late game. That's generally what you're going to be mostly going for. Zuelong has some... most of the Loomians available currently don't need to take much damage at all in order for Zuelong to come in and clean them up. Himber and Borok with a heavy shield are like the only two exceptions to that rule. Everything else, it's like assume 50% and they're dead. If they're weak to it, assume like Seer Knight, I believe he only needs to take like 20% of his max health before Zuelong can come in and just OHKO him. That's fun. Well, guaranteed OHKO. Other thing, sometimes it can with damage rolls you could get like a 85 to 100% roll. But so generally you want to damage them so that min roll will always kill. You can always use the damage calculator, which is also linked in the description, to figure out exactly where you need different things to be. So yeah, like I said, Zuelong will like to come in at the late game and just clean everything up right at the very end. But what he can also do is things like Dusket, fast and potential setup sweeper, complete, does not want to see a Zuelong because Zuelong can one-shot it. Like the general Dusket set's the same as Zuelong, 200 speed, 200 range attack, 100 HP. Zuelong just flat one-hit KOs Dusket with an Ancient Essence 15 out of 16 times. There's 1/16th chance that Dusket lives. But assuming it's not a bulky Dusket. If it's a bulky Dusket, then well, rip, you're getting that whole mirror coat, return to sender, if you will. But yeah, Zuelong just could come in and just scare pretty much anything out if it's weak to it. And then Ancient Roar to, further put your opponent in a hole. So yeah, that's what it likes to do. It likes to manipulate the opponent's moves and come in late game and just kill everything. So it loves doing that. Now, what are potential stops to Zuelong are Himber and Borak because they are Earth type, and they can take an ancient or an elemental burst, but Borak kind of needs the heavy shield so that he doesn't just take over half out the gate. Luxor and Umbrat, like I said earlier, they don't. You need to get them to around 50% before Zuelong can just straight KO them. So if they're not there yet, they can live a hit from you and then Oko you back. So yeah, gotta look out for those two. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Zuelong is in. Oh yeah, Florent. I forgot. We got a Florent on the field. Florent can eat hits from it and whittle it down. You can put it in range for like quick pounce from Umbrat and stuff like that. Tatab also. Oh no, Tatab doesn't one hit KO you. So. But beware, if you're around 60%, it can KO you with Jungle Jutsu. So yeah, those are what can stop Zuelong. It's really hard to stop Zuelong. We do not have much to stop him. Himber and Borak are about the only two reliable. Himber's more reliable because if it's specially defensive, it's taken like what 30% max, I believe. I could do the calc right now. Here, let's do the calc right now. But I believe he takes like what 50 or 30%. Let's make you clever and 200 and 27 to 32%. Yep. So Himber could take a few hits, and so it could put a stop to Zuelong's plans. That's why you always want to like chip it away. But that leads me to my next point. Some good teammates for Zuelong include basically Zuelong, Tatab. Borak and Himber are about the only two reliable stops to Zuelong, and Tatab cleans them both up very nicely. So if you're using Zuelong, you're probably going to want to use Tatab too. As Zuelong also checks there's some of the weaknesses of Tatab, such as Seer Knight, Avitross, Dusket, and Vesperatu. So yeah, those two make a really good pair. Like, it's insanely good how good those two are. But yeah, Zuelong is pretty much the easiest thing to use right now, in my opinion. I believe this is the point, this is the point in the video where everything's been chipped down. If you were paying attention to the battle, everything's been chipped down to the point where I just click buttons with Zuelong and everything faints. So like, this game's over at this point. I mean, they could have done some mind games here and there because their Seer Knight's still alive and it resists elemental burst, but yeah, a spoiler alert, they didn't. I just clicked buttons until everything dropped. So yeah, that's basically how you use Vesperatu. Oh, why did I say Vesperatu? Oh, that's because I like using Vesperatu on my own team. But that's basically how you use Zuelong. There really isn't any other sets. Thunderstrike, Elemental Burst, Ancient Roar, and then you can either run Dodge, Static Shock or Thunder Slam or Chomp, whichever one that is. And yeah, Zuelong just clicks buttons. So, the thing about this Borok right here, it's based on the damage it took from my Seer Knight Searing Steel. I determined it wasn't a bulkier one with heavy shield. Like my own Borok has special defense investment with a heavy shield, so Zuelong cannot 2-hit KO it in any circumstance. Even a crit. No, I think 2 crits actually kills it. Let me check. Oh yeah, right here. I wasn't afraid of this Zuelong at all. I had already baited out all of its moves to drain its energy down to zero, or to the point where it couldn't use another attack, so Zuelong was completely safe there. So that's another thing you want to try and do with Zuelong is things like other Zuelongs. You want to try and get their energy down as low as possible so that you can come in safely. But yeah, that's basically how to use Zuelong. So just remember to vote for who you want to see next. Well, Himber's next because you guys wanted popular stuff, but I'll put other options there for the one after that. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. See you.